Daniel Cameron, the Attorney General of Kentucky, who is the Republican gubernatorial candidate, is not happy at all with Black Voters Matter because of this radio ad.
What's up, Kentucky? It's election time, and all skin folks ain't kin folk. Over the past few years, we've taken to the streets to demand racial justice, to demand health care, and the right to make decisions about our body. And now Uncle Daniel Cameron is threatening to take us backwards. The same man who refused to seek justice for Breonna Taylor now wants to run our whole state. We can't let that happen. We won't let that happen. On November 7th, vote Andy Beshear for governor.
Paid for by Black Voters Matter Action PAC, which is responsible for the content of the...
Lord, well, Daniel dropped this tweet here. Go ahead and pull it up. For years, I've been called every racist name in the book for supporting President Trump and conservative values. Andy Beshear always looks the other way and remains silent even today. He upset, y'all. Joining me now from Atlanta is Cliff Albright, the co-founder of Black Voters Matter. They dropped that ad. First of all, they're calling y'all Soros back. That's always the phrase they use to try to tie anyone to George Soros, anything that he does. So, Cliff, why did y'all drop this ad and use that language against upset Daniel?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Roland. I mean, we dropped it very simply, right? Because it's the truth. Everything that we mentioned in the ad, he hasn't attacked the accuracy of the ad at all. Did you or did you not let go and refuse to charge the people, the police officers that killed Breonna Taylor? So you don't want to talk about the substance of the ad. He want to talk about the Uncle Daniel Cameron. And technically, we didn't call him Uncle Tom, right? That to do so actually would probably be more of an insult to the actual Uncle Tom, but that's a whole nother story. But, the uncle could have been anything. It could have been Uncle Ruckus. It could have been Uncle, like, we call Maxine, Congresswoman Maxine, Auntie. Maybe we was using it affectionately. The fact of the matter is, soon as he heard it, he heard Uncle Tom, right? You know what we say, Roland, hit dog will holler. He's hollering mighty loud. He saw himself in an Uncle Tom attack. But at the end of the day, what it's about is basically just reminding our folks that this is the same man who's been against our community, not even just in terms of the Breonna case, the Breonna Taylor case, right? Say her name, but everything else. Look at what he stands for. Look at his attacks against health care and trying to peel back the Medicaid expansion that took place in the state. That is a direct attack against the health of Black communities. Look at his attack, unsolicited attack against affirmative action, where after the Supreme Court had their affirmative action case, which dealt only with education, here comes Daniel signing a letter with a bunch of other attorney generals, basically warning companies that they need to end their affirmative action hiring policies. Ain't nobody asked him to send a letter. That wasn't even what the Supreme Court decided. He just went and took it upon himself to go out and pursue such a letter, which again directs our communities, attacks our jobs, attacks our wages, attacks our families. So it's not even just his stance on the Breonna Taylor case and police accountability. It's issue after issue after issue where he has shown himself to be just as much of a threat to the Black community as the staunchest white supremacist. You don't have to be white to pursue and reinforce white supremacist policies. As we said in the ad, all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
And you laid out all of those particular issues. And when we talk about Breonna Taylor, first of all, the federal trial begins on Monday for one of the officers who was involved in that. It was Daniel Cameron who, I found nothing. I found nothing. But it's amazing how the feds found stuff and have already gotten guilty pleas, but he found nothing and did nothing.
Right. And he hides around, in every interview, anytime he's asked about it, he'll say, well, all I can do is uphold the law and follow the law. And, my hands were tied. There was nothing I can do. And we know that that's not true. We know that is gaslighting to the highest degree. We know that there are all types of violations that could have been filed, just as the Department of Justice is currently doing so against those who killed Breonna, who murdered Breonna. He could have done that. Other attorney generals were able to do the same. Keith Ellison in Minnesota was able to do the same. I mean, so there have been others at the state level, at the county level, and at all levels have found it somehow within the law to enforce when police officers kill a Black person. to say that there was nothing he could do is basically, he's repeating Judge Taney's line from the Dred Scott case, where he's basically saying that a black man or woman and sitting in our own apartment, sleeping in our own apartment, has no rights which a white man or a white police officer is bound to respect. Again, when we have an attorney general and a candidate for governor that takes that kind of a position, that is a threat to our entire community. And we say it again, all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
When we talk, and again, I think what you have here is you have Cameron not wanting to tick off police unions, wanting to kiss up to them, and that's what you're dealing with here.
Exactly. I mean, he's cast his lot. Look, he decided a long time ago which team he was going to be on, and whether that's the side of the police unions or whether that's the side of Mitch McConnell. I mean, he takes some amount of pride, and Mitch McConnell takes some amount of pride in calling him like one of his proteges, right? And so, he's picked his side, and his side is very much the side of anti-blackness. His side is very much the side that's against our safety, that's against our health, that's against our economic well-being, that's against our education, that's against our maternal health. On all these issues, he's picked the wrong side.
And I mean, look, and this is a perfect example of, we use the phrase, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. The reality is the white Democratic governor of Kentucky has made it clear he restored the voting rights of formerly incarcerated. He has been clear where he stands on Medicaid expansion, which impacts African Americans. He's made it clear where he stands on voting rights. Here's a perfect example of a white Democrat who, frankly, is aligned more with black voters than black Daniel Cameron, Republican.
Exactly. And that's why we always say, it, Roland, we always say that, we're all about us, right? The back of our shirts say it's about us. We focus on our issues. It's not about glorifying any particular candidate, and nor is it about demonizing another candidate, even a candidate that we don't like or may disagree with, right? But it's about what are the issues that different candidates stand for. And at the end of the day, Andy Beshear is head and shoulders just in a different league when it comes to, his position on issues that are of concern to our community, whether it's restoration of voting rights or voting rights even more writ large, or whether it's police accountability, or whether it's health care or reproductive justice. On all these issues, issues that impact our community, there is a fundamental difference. And so any day, it's funny because people think that, people like to accuse us of, Roland, they say, oh, you only voted for Obama for 90-something% because he's black, and y'all are just all about race, and that's racist. And then when we come out an ad criticizing a black candidate, they say, oh, that's racist. Well, which one is it? Are we always guided by race and we'll vote for anybody black no matter what? Or is it that, in fact, that we are actually guided by the stances on our issues? And if Andy Beshear or any other white Democrat is going to be better on the issues than a black Republican on our issues, then we're always going to fall on the side of our issues at the end of the day.
And that's what it boils down to. In black folks in Kentucky, it's abundantly clear that Daniel Cameron has not been on the right side of the issues that black folks care about.
It's abundantly clear, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. Because you might have some folks that don't know that it's that clear, right? Maybe they don't know about all these issues. Maybe they know about the Breonna Taylor, but maybe they get confused when he gaslights us and he says, well, I did everything that I could do, right? Or maybe they don't know about his position on healthcare, or maybe they don't know about his anti-LGBT positions, or any of the other positions. He's got a thing on the Attorney General's website, Roland, not his campaign website, the Attorney General's website, that says that one of his top priorities, you go to the website right now, pull it up, one of his top priorities is to stop wokeness. You are the Attorney General of a state talking about that your priority is to stop wokeness. You sound like DeSantis, and we don't need another DeSantis in the state of Kentucky any more than we need him in Florida or any place else.
And here's the other deal. He is standing foursquare with Donald Trump, and we damn sure are not. And so if he wants Trump back in office, that absolutely is not beneficial to black people.
Yeah, I didn't even talk about that. Thanks, Roland, for bringing that back up. I didn't even mention that. Yeah, he stands squarely with Trump. He says Trump is good for the country. Even when asked specifically, you can listen to interviews when he's been asked specifically and repeatedly, because evidently the person doing the interview just couldn't really believe what they were hearing, where they asked him about specific things that he has said about the black community, about specific policies, about specific things that he said about predominantly black or African descent countries, right? And in every case, all camera would fall back on is, I believe he's best for us. I believe his values are best for us. Like, why he would use Donald Trump and values in the same sentence, I don't even understand that. And so at the end of the day, no, we don't need somebody who even now, knowing all that we know about not just his horrible policies as a twice impeached president, but knowing all we know about the insurrection, about the coup that he tried to do, even now, knowing all this, he still stands squarely with him. He is a threat not just to our community, he's a threat to this entire country. We cannot have him. It's bad enough that he's in the attorney general position. We definitely can't have him in the governor's mansion, not in any state.
Not only that, I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm going on his website, and and these are sort of the broad. Go to my iPad, please. He's got better schools. Come on, guys. Come on, let's go. Better schools, strong economy. And then look at them. Work requirements for welfare. First of all, we already have those things. Get income tax to zero. Well, then how are you going to pay for stuff in the state? Then he's got safe streets, and then that's it. Like that's it. That's all. So right. Safe streets, strong economy, better schools. That's y'all. That's all that's on the website. Ain't nothing else.
That's right.
That's kind of limiting.
Right. It's very limiting, and it's the traditional. It sounds like Mitch McConnell, right? It sounds like a little Mitch McConnell clone. You want zero income taxes, which is basically what Mitch did, and the Republicans did with that big tax break that they gave to the wealthiest in the country. When they say that they want a tax break, they're not talking about regular folk. They're not talking about our folks that are struggling every day. They're talking about their friends, the big wealthy people, right? The big elite. And giving them a tax cut, which then does what? It puts all the rest of us in even more economic stress, right? And so you look at that website, and those things that he has on there are the usual thing. We want to give our friends a tax cut. We gotta scare you to death about crime. So we could talk about safe streets, right? Which just means more police, more profiling, right? More black folks getting shot. And then he's got the schools thing on there, which we know is really just code for the privatization that they're trying to do to our school systems all across the country. That's the usual stuff. That's just Mitch McConnell light. That's Donald Trump light. And we don't need that. Again, it is rooted in anti-blackness. It is a threat to our community. It's a threat to the entire state of Kentucky. It's a threat to the entire country if we allow him to elevate. And just real talk, it would set our movement back to allow the person who, next to the police officers who killed Breonna Taylor, who killed Brother George Floyd, next to them, the face of this anti-blackness of that period is Daniel Cameron, the leading face that was most staunchly saying, no, we're not gonna prosecute these police officers. To allow this person, after we were in the streets for months talking about how our lives matter, talking about police accountability, to allow this person to rise to the level of governor would really be a setback. So it would be dangerous. It's dangerous for our community. It's dangerous for our families, but it's dangerous for this entire country and our movement.
So I just want to show folks again. Go to my computer, please. So this is the plan of Daniel Cameron. His vision for Kentucky. It's three things: better schools, strong economy, safe streets. This is the issues and priority of Andy Beshear. Early learning and child care, fiscal responsibility and transparency, jobs and economic development, expanding high-speed internet infrastructure, boosting Kentucky's signature industries, expanding access and reliability of clean drinking water, expanding health care access and affordability, prioritizing public education, public safety, fighting inflation, investing in higher education and workforce development, rebuilding Kentucky after disaster, supporting our military, revitalizing Appalachian Kentucky and leadership of the Appalachian Regional Commission, supporting seniors and the most vulnerable, protecting protecting Kentucky families, dealing with the opioid addiction, promoting Kentucky values and the golden rule, protecting your rights. Sounds to me like there's a lot more broader plan here. In fact, right here, he has in here vetoed a bill creating additional obstacles to voting. Daniel Cameron, he sided with that particular bill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People sometimes, some of the critics of Black Voters Matter, and let me be clear, today I'm speaking on behalf of our PAC side, Black Voters Matter Action PAC. That's who actually did the ad, as you hear in the disclaimer. And sometimes we get accused of, y'all just for any Democrat or whatever. And no. We criticize Democrats. We criticize President Biden when he wasn't doing enough on voting rights. We criticize other moderate Democrats. We've been asked to get involved in races in some states for some candidates where we take a look at the candidate. We just we can't do that. It's not consistent with our issues, with our values. We're not going to use our scarce resources. In this situation, we have absolutely no problem saying that there is a stark difference between the policies pursued by Governor Beshear and the policies and the track record, the dangerous track record of Uncle Daniel. And so, and I want to add this too. It's interesting, Roland. This, as you played, this was the radio version. They haven't even seen the video version of the ad. When he sees that, he's gonna really flip out, right? And so why is it that he's even paying so much attention to this ad? What he knows is if he really thought that he was going to get all the support that Mitch McConnell gets, that other white Republicans get, he wouldn't be paying attention to our little radio ad, right? But he's scared. He's scared because he's counting on digging into a certain amount of Black support. And when he hears an ad that criticizes his stance on our issues, the issues that our community cares about, that worries him. And so this ought to be a message to anybody watching this race that he is vulnerable, but it's going to take deeper work, more resources to reach Black folks so that we can get this message to them that, again, all skin folk ain't kinfolk, that we can't trust Uncle Daniel, and that we've got to come out and vote.
Indeed, indeed. Cliff Albright, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot. I can't wait to see the video.
It's coming, Roland. It's coming.
All right. Got to go to break. We come back. We'll talk to our panel about this. All right, folks. Michael Imhotep is the host of African History Network show out of Detroit. Also, Matt Manning, civil rights attorney out of Corpus Christi, Texas. Dr. Amakongo Dabinga, senior professorial lecturer, School of International Service, American University out of D.C. I'll start with you, Amakongo. Boy, Daniel Cameron, he is not happy at all.
And it is great to see. And the way Cliff talked about it could have meant any Uncle Ruckus or just any that had me going. But he should be concerned because, when you meet people like Tamika Palmer, the mother of Breonna, and you see the activism, we are showing, and Cliff is showing, and all of the other groups on the ground are showing that we have not forgotten Kentucky. And people always have this mentality that when it comes to our type of activism and things that we do, that just give it some time, it's just going to blow over. We have shown that we're going hard in Kentucky. And as you've always said, Roland, on this show, you got to support organizations on the ground. I didn't hear any mention in your entire conversation about anything that the DNC was doing or partnerships with the DNC. Taking it right to the people is where we need to be devoting our resources. And Cameron should be concerned because he is still identifying with somebody who is a criminal, who is charged in how many different trials. He wants to ride with him and go down with him. Well, what is Trump really going to do for him at this point? Now, I can understand if you want to enjoy the support of a Mitch McConnell down there in Kentucky, but to continually tie yourself to a man who's multiply indicted and facing all of these different charges, it's a losing battle. But also what we are doing on the ground is going to be more important than anything they can do, because I really feel like Kentucky, especially with Beshear running for re-election, he's not some random candidate, and looking at that website and just showing a difference in policies, it puts us in really solid footing. And so I'm optimistic, but I'm optimistic because of what people like Cliff and all of the other organizations are doing, more so than I am in what the DNC or Biden are doing to help us get Beshear reelected.
I mean, Michael, Cliff is correct. They didn't actually say in the promo he was an Uncle Tom. They just simply said Uncle Daniel.
Right. Yeah. It's a number of things here. No, they didn't say Uncle Tom, and Uncle Tom would be the incorrect word. That was actually Josiah Henson, who was a freedom fighter for Black people. Sambo would be the correct term for Daniel Cameron if they wanted to use that term, but they decided not to. I listened to the ad. The ad is not racist at all. What this is a hit dog that's hollering, who's trying to deflect from his record and doesn't want to stand on his record, doesn't want to have to defend his record. So then he wants to call a Black organization racist against him, but he continues to push policies that are in opposition to African Americans. Now, for the sake of accuracy, I don't support Daniel Cameron, don't support the majority of his policies, but I'm on his website right now, and I saw you talk about the better schools, strong economy, safe streets. You have to scroll down below that, and right before the video, he has a link. Click here to read Cameron's catch-up plan. So this is a 5-page catch-up plan, and then if you scroll down below the video, he has 2 more links that go to PDFs that explain his policies. Okay, now I don't agree with his policies, but just for the sake of accuracy, scroll down below those 3 bullet points. And then the other thing is, and now I've been on his website, looking at his website. The other thing, and I don't know how deep you want to get into this, Roland, but he has his wife on the website as well. And it says, meet Mackenzie. And then it talks about moms for Daniel Cameron, things like this as well. And you know, it's obvious he's married to a white woman, too. Okay, so once again, now she's on the website. They're talking about Meet Mackenzie. They're talking about moms for Mackenzie, things like this. So when you have anti-Black behavior and an anti-Black mentality, and you support policies that are against African Americans, that can spread to numerous aspects of your life. And we unfortunately see this manifest here. Hopefully he's defeated.
First, again, I don't give a damn who he's married to. I don't give a damn who he's married to. That's irrelevant to me. What I'm looking at is, and yeah, you could talk about clicking even further, but the reality is, I did click, and he only got three issues on here. That's all he's got. Okay, you can go down below. I clicked through it, and the bottom line, yeah, he still got 3. Okay, in education, he got sub-points under education, but that's it. At the end of the day, what he's doing, Matt, is a typical Republican bumper sticker campaign. And that's what it boils down to. And so I keep the focus on him, not his wife. That's irrelevant to me. I'm looking at where he stands on issues that Black people care about. And the reality is, on the issues, Andy Beshear is better on the issues that Black folks care about than Daniel Cameron.
Absolutely. And the problem here is the same kind of cognitive dissonance that we see all the time, where particularly Black conservatives try to play it both ways, right? Meaning they try to say, I'm Black, so when it comes to us and it's advantageous for me to be Black and play this Black role, I try to have whatever proximity to Blackness I can. But the rest of the time, I want you to recognize me as the one that got away from the plantation. We hear that kind of rhetoric all the time, where Black conservatives are trying to make it exceedingly clear that they're not a part of whatever they believe are Black issues or issues that are seen to be not, consonant with the conservative ideal. And that's exactly what Daniel Cameron has done. And I like that this ad has been advanced the way that it has, because a lot of times, like Cliff said, I think masterfully, Black people get accused of being monolithic, right? Accused of not being discerning in choosing their political representatives and looking at the actual issues rather than looking at the person's skin. And this is a good example of saying you are not actually with us. No matter how you might try to do the song and dance where you think it helps you to be aligned with us, you choose against us all the time. And that's inherent in his policies. So I think that comparison of the policies is important. And I think that, it is not only a bumper sticker campaign, but even the idea of, quote, trying to stop wokeness. One of the problems I see with Cameron and a lot of other politicians is that they're really involved in things that should have no bearing on what their job is. If you're the attorney general or potentially the governor, there are certain spheres of influence you should have that don't necessarily concern certain social issues. But where you do have the influence, i.e. you're the attorney general, and you can't find the evidence in your investigation that other law enforcement agencies have, then we have to ask why. And that's because you're acting in conformity with the ideology that is getting you where you want to go. And the reality with black conservatives is they very often play that tokenism role, and where it's helpful to them, they play it up. So you can't be surprised that on the back end, we call you out for you not being who you claim to be. And that's one of us, because we see how you act. And that is demonstrative of who you truly are.
Yep. It's what you do is not what you say. That's what it boils down to. All right, hold tight.
Hopefully you learned a lot today. And be sure to register for the online history classes that I teach on Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays, normally 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I teach ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, understanding the transatlantic slave trade, what they didn't teach you in school. Visit our website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, to register for the online classes. And right on the homepage, scroll down, you see information about our radio show. We're on Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We broadcast on our social media platforms. My class is Ancient Kemet, one of the original names for Egypt, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, understanding the transatlantic slave trade, what they didn't teach you in school. We deal with thousands of years of history and what leads up to the transatlantic slave trade taking place, okay? So you can join us Saturday, October 7th and 14th. And 21st and 28th, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a couple of videos here you can watch as well to the previews. The class is on sale $80, regularly $130. We do the sessions live. All the sessions are archived and recorded. Actually, we dropped the price to $60. So on sale $60, regularly $130. We do the sessions live. All the sessions are archived and recorded. You can go back and watch them anytime, okay? So even after the class is over with, you still have access. So a year from now, 2 years from now, you can go back and watch the entire course. Sundays, I teach Black resistance movements from the Haitian Revolution, U.S. Civil War, Civil Rights Movement, and Black Power Movement, 1800 to 1968. So we're going to have another session of this class coming up October 14th, okay? Sunday, October 15th. We'll have another session of this class coming up Sunday, October 15th. So as soon as you register, you can go watch the previous classes. This class is on sale $40. As soon as you register, you can go back and watch the previous classes, and you'll be ready to join us Sunday, October 15th. Also, if you'd like to stop for information, you can support the African History Network, $ the AHN show through Cash App. $ the AHN show through Cash App, also through PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN show. This helps us keep doing the research, stay on the air, keep broadcasting, pay some of the bills. All right, we have to get out of here. Remember, right now it's correct wrong behavior is not over till we win Wakanda forever. And we'll talk to you next time. Peace.
Is your child struggling with reading, writing, learning loss, and a culturally irrelevant curriculum? Do you want your child to be outstanding at reading and writing and also take pride in their culture? Then you want Reading Revolution Online. Reading Revolution Online is a web-based reading support program. We serve scholars in grades K through 8, and through our innovative approach, we help them build reading confidence and cultural identity development, equipping them for success in school and life. They learn about Black heroes and sheroes through captioned videos, reading selections, and other activities. Reading Revolution Online is an experience for the whole family. Do it for the culture. Go to readingrevolution.org and get your